Imagine waking up each morning feeling lighter, as though the weight of negativity has finally been lifted. No more constant overthinking, no more comparisons stealing your joy, and no more grudges keeping your heart heavy. How would it feel to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace a life of calm and positivity? Negativity has a way of creeping into our lives, especially in a world that constantly pulls us in so many directions. But here's the truth. Breaking free isn't about ignoring the bad. It's about learning how to respond to it differently. Buddhism offers powerful teachings that help us release negativity and make room for joy, resilience, and peace. Today, we'll explore 6 transformative Buddhist-inspired rules to help you break free from negativity and reclaim your inner peace. Each one is practical, empowering, and deeply rooted in wisdom that has stood the test of time. Whether it's silencing the inner critic or letting go of perfectionism, these teachings can create a ripple effect of positivity in your life. As you listen, take a moment to reflect on what's been holding you back lately. And if you're ready to release negativity and make space for peace, type "I'm ready to let go" in the comments below. Let's begin this journey toward a lighter, freer you. 1. Stop feeding the inner critic. That voice in your head, the one that whispers you're not good enough, not smart enough, not enough, isn't telling the truth. It's your inner critic, born from years of societal expectations, past disappointments and comparisons. And like a fire, it only grows when you keep feeding it with self-doubt and harsh judgments. Buddhism teaches us the importance of mindful self-talk. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This wisdom invites us to turn inward with kindness rather than criticism, acknowledging that we are all imperfect yet inherently worthy. To stop feeding the inner critic, begin by observing it. When negative thoughts arise, pause and ask, "Is this thought helpful? Is it even true?" More often than not, you'll realize that the voice in your head is exaggerating or assuming the worst. Detach from those thoughts by recognizing them as temporary clouds passing through your mental sky. They don't define you unless you let them. Replace self-criticism with compassionate affirmations. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm such a failure," gently counter it with, "I'm learning, and that's enough for today." This simple shift rewires your mind to speak kindly to itself, building resilience and self-acceptance. A helpful practice is journaling. Each evening, write down 3 things you did well, no matter how small. Maybe you kept your patience during a tough conversation or simply took time to care for yourself. Celebrate those wins, however minor they seem, and watch how your inner dialogue softens over time. Remember, breaking free from negativity starts with how you speak to yourself. You don't need to silence the inner critic completely, but you can choose not to give it power. When you meet yourself with compassion, the weight of judgment lifts, creating space for peace to grow. 2. Detach from toxic energy. Negativity can feel like a heavy fog that clouds your mind, but often it doesn't come from within. It's absorbed from the people or environments around you. Whether it's a relationship that drains you or an atmosphere of constant stress. Toxic energy can quietly erode your inner peace. Detaching from toxic energy doesn't mean shutting people out or walking away from every challenge. It's about protecting your boundaries and making choices that prioritize your mental well-being. Buddhism teaches the importance of recognizing what serves your peace and having the courage to release what doesn't. Start by identifying the sources of negativity in your life. Is it a relationship that feels one-sided, leaving you exhausted? Or is it the constant noise of social media comparisons? Be honest with yourself about what truly adds value to your life versus what pulls you down. Once you've recognized these sources, practice the art of boundary setting. If someone's energy consistently leaves you feeling depleted, it's okay to limit your interactions or communicate your needs clearly. This isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. The Buddha encouraged us to surround ourselves with those who uplift and inspire, not those who perpetuate suffering. For environmental toxins, create small but powerful rituals to cleanse your space. Declutter a room, light a candle, or introduce calming elements like plants or soft music. These shifts can transform a chaotic environment into a sanctuary of peace. Finally, cultivate a buffer zone for your energy. After a stressful day or difficult interaction, take time to decompress through meditation, a walk in nature, or a simple breathing exercise. This helps you reset and prevents negativity from lingering. Detaching from toxic energy is a profound act of self-love. It's a declaration that your peace is sacred and worth protecting. When you let go of what doesn't serve you, you create space for positivity and growth to flourish in your life. 3. Release the need for validation. Seeking approval from others can feel essential, especially in a world where validation often seems tied to self-worth. Social media likes, praise at work, or compliments from loved ones may temporarily lift your spirits, but this kind of external validation is fleeting. Buddhism teaches us that lasting peace comes from within, not from others' opinions. By shifting your focus inward, you can free yourself from the exhausting cycle of seeking approval and discover your inherent value. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This wisdom emphasizes that true self-worth isn't about others acknowledging you, but about recognizing your own inner light. When you rely on external approval, you give others the power to dictate your happiness, leaving you vulnerable to criticism, rejection, or indifference. Breaking this cycle requires reconnecting with yourself and learning to be your own greatest source of validation. Start by asking yourself, why do I crave approval? What do I hope to feel when others validate me? Often, the answers reveal deeper fears of inadequacy or rejection. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment. They're part of being human. Then, gently remind yourself that you don't need anyone's permission to feel worthy. Practice self-validation daily. Celebrate your efforts and achievements, no matter how small, with affirming thoughts like, "I worked hard on this, and I'm proud of myself." Make a habit of journaling about moments you feel good about, even if no one else notices them. Over time, this practice builds self-confidence and reduces your reliance on external feedback. Mindfulness can help you detach from validation-seeking behaviors. When you catch yourself striving for approval, whether it's crafting the perfect social media post or overcommitting to impress someone, pause. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness to the present moment. Ask yourself, am I acting from a place of self-love or self-doubt? This reflection allows you to recalibrate and choose actions aligned with your values rather than others' expectations. Letting go of the need for validation doesn't mean you stop valuing relationships or feedback. Instead, it means approaching them from a place of strength. You listen to others, but your sense of worth remains grounded in who you are, not in what others think of you. As you release the need for external validation, you'll find a deeper, more stable happiness, one rooted in your inner self. 4. Let go of grudges. Grudges can feel like armor, protecting you from being hurt again, but in truth, they are more like chains, keeping you tethered to pain and bitterness. When you hold on to resentment, you give the person who wronged you ongoing power over your emotional well-being. Buddhism teaches that forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of anger and reclaiming your peace. The Buddha said, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." This metaphor captures the self-destructive nature of grudges. While the other person may move on, you remain trapped in the emotional turmoil of reliving past wrongs. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is an act of liberation, not for them, but for you. Begin the process of letting go by acknowledging your feelings honestly. Write down what happened, how it made you feel, and why it continues to hurt. Naming your emotions helps you process them. Ask yourself, is holding on to this anger serving me? Chances are, the grudge only deepens your suffering without changing the situation. Next, practice empathy. This doesn't mean condoning harmful actions, but trying to understand the other person's perspective. Often, people act out of their own pain, ignorance, or fear. Seeing their humanity doesn't excuse their behavior, but can soften your anger, making it easier to release. Engage in a forgiveness ritual to symbolically let go of the grudge. You might write a letter to the person, expressing your feelings and your decision to forgive, not for their sake, but for your own peace. Burn or shred the letter afterward, imagining the weight of the resentment lifting from your heart. Forgiveness isn't a one-time event, it's a practice. Some wounds run deep, and the anger may resurface. When this happens, remind yourself why you chose to let go. Focus on the freedom and lightness you gain by releasing the emotional burden. Finally, extend forgiveness inward. Many grudges are directed at ourselves for past mistakes or missed opportunities. Recognize that you're human, capable of both error and growth. Offer yourself the same compassion you'd give to a close friend. Letting go of grudges doesn't erase the past, but transforms how you carry it. By releasing resentment, you create space for joy, connection, and inner peace. Forgiveness, both for others and yourself, is the key to breaking free from the chains of anger and living with an open heart. 5. Stop chasing perfection. Perfection often feels like the ultimate goal, a standard that once achieved promises happiness and fulfillment. But chasing perfection is like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast you go, the finish line keeps moving. Buddhism teaches us to embrace imperfection, recognizing it as a natural part of existence. In doing so, we free ourselves from the impossible task of being flawless and open up space for growth, joy, and self-acceptance. The concept of wabi-sabi in Japanese culture, rooted in Buddhist philosophy, celebrates the beauty of imperfection and impermanence. A cracked vase, for example, isn't discarded. Its flaws are embraced as part of its story. Similarly, your imperfections make you uniquely you. The Buddha himself taught, "There is no fear for one whose mind is not filled with desires." When you let go of the desire for perfection, you release fear, self-doubt, and unnecessary pressure. Start by questioning your definition of perfection. Is it realistic, or is it shaped by societal expectations, comparisons, or fear of failure? Consider the energy you spend trying to meet these unattainable standards. How does it impact your well-being? Reflecting on these questions can help you recognize that perfection isn't the goal. Progress and authenticity are. Shift your mindset by celebrating small victories. If you're working on a personal goal, focus on the steps you've taken rather than the gaps still ahead. For example, if you're learning a new skill, applaud your effort and persistence rather than obsessing over mastery. Each step forward, however small, is worth celebrating. Mindfulness can help you stay present and appreciate where you are right now. Instead of constantly striving for the next milestone, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Embrace the messy, imperfect parts of your journey as essential pieces of your growth. Another way to release the pressure of perfection is to practice self-compassion. When you make a mistake or fall short of a goal, speak to yourself kindly, as you would to a close friend. Remind yourself that imperfection is part of being human and that mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. By letting go of the need to be perfect, you allow yourself to focus on what truly matters: progress, connection, and self-acceptance. You become more present and resilient, capable of finding joy in the journey rather than chasing an unattainable ideal. 6. Avoid the trap of comparison. In a world filled with curated social media feeds and constant comparisons, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. Whether it's someone's career success, personal life, or appearance, comparing yourself to others can drain your energy and rob you of joy. Buddhism offers a different perspective. Instead of measuring yourself against others, focus on your unique journey and celebrate your individuality. The Buddha taught, "Do not look at others' faults or what they have done or not done. Observe what you yourself have done or not done." This wisdom reminds us that true fulfillment comes from self-reflection and growth, not from comparing ourselves to others. When you shift your attention inward, you reclaim your power and begin to see the beauty of your own path. Begin by recognizing the harm of comparison. When you envy someone's success, you often focus on what they have and overlook the struggles or sacrifices behind it. At the same time, you diminish your own accomplishments and value. This constant measuring leaves you feeling inadequate, even when you have much to celebrate. Practice gratitude as an antidote to comparison. Take time each day to reflect on what you're thankful for in your life, your strengths, opportunities, and relationships. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, helping you appreciate your unique journey. Mindfulness is another powerful tool to break free from the trap of comparison. When you catch yourself scrolling through social media or envying someone else's life, pause, take a deep breath, and bring your awareness to the present moment. Remind yourself that what you see is only a small, curated part of their story, not the whole picture. Turn comparison into inspiration. Instead of feeling envious, look at others' achievements as proof of what's possible. If someone has accomplished something you admire, let it motivate you to pursue your own goals. Celebrate their success without diminishing your own worth. Finally, focus on self-compassion. Acknowledge that everyone's path is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all timeline for success or happiness. Your journey is yours alone, filled with unique challenges and triumphs. By honoring your individuality, you can find joy and fulfillment without the burden of comparison. Breaking free from the trap of comparison allows you to reclaim your peace and confidence. It helps you focus on your growth, celebrate your accomplishments, and approach life with a sense of gratitude and self-assurance. Instead of measuring yourself against others, You'll find contentment in being fully and authentically you. Thank you for spending this time with me, exploring these powerful Buddhist rules for breaking free from negativity. Life can be overwhelming, but as you've learned today, small intentional shifts can create a ripple effect of peace and positivity in your life. Now, it's your turn. Which rule resonated with you the most? Is it silencing the inner critic, letting go of grudges, or perhaps embracing imperfection? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your insights and reflections. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like and share it with someone who could use a little more calm and clarity in their life. And if you're on a journey of self-growth and inner peace, subscribe to our channel for more wisdom and practical tools to help you thrive. Remember, the path to peace starts with you. Until next time, stay mindful, stay compassionate, and let your inner light guide you forward. You've got this.